Hey guys, welcome back to the Snap-Ring Chronicles. Today we have another Ratchet video for you. But like always, if you find these videos helpful or insightful, could you please give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Okay, today we have an Easco ratchet. This is model 721108, forged alloy USA. It's a 3/8 drive, has a thumb wheel on the bottom, and it's a fine tooth ratchet. Here's the handle. It's a knurled handle. And this is Easco's version of their venerable fine tooth round head ratchet, Craftsman. That's pretty well regarded. So Easco also made the Craftsman, but as we know, Easco also made their own line of tools, and this is one of them. It has a raised panel here that's been polished, and it has nice deep letters there that say Easco. They're pretty well done. Okay, let's take this one apart. Okay, let me just give you fair warning. If you're not comfortable taking ratchets apart, or if you are impatient, this is one of those ratchets that it's going to give you a real hard time. And if you take this apart, don't curse my name when things don't go right, because especially for like 3/8 or below, like a 1/4 inch of this style ratchet, the parts are really small, and I'll show you when we get inside. It has a compression ring that goes in the groove there on the anvil side. This is what it looks like. And here is the mechanism. But first, let's take a look at the head. The switch is separate, and we'll take a look at that in a second. Here's inside the head. Looks kind of complicated. Well done. Not your usual round head where it's just bored through and they put like little, they do there's some lips or cutouts on the ends. Here there's like multiple level of cutouts there. You see from the back all the way to the front. The teeth are in the middle of the head, and they're only cut in the middle, so no teeth on the edges. On the edge of this is the on the edge of this is the cutout or trench for the compression ring, where that fits in over here. And I didn't count how many teeth, but I'll put it in the description. I would say this is in the 40 range, maybe 42 teeth. And they're pretty well done, pretty well cut. Okay, here's the mechanism, and here's the switch. The switch fits, the middle part fits over this middle part here, and it fits over these two like banana shaped cutouts. They fit over these pawl pins, and they slide over the pins, and it allows the switching action. Okay, here's the switch. Another thing is that these were made without a quick release, as you see with the Craftsman. The Craftsman has a quick release here, and as we know, that Craftsman had a patent at the time. They owned the patent for the quick release, so I think they were, at the time, they were the only one using quick release. So the Easco versions of the same ratchet didn't have quick release. They just had a regular switch. So I think later on they started incorporating quick release into their ratchets, maybe after the patent ran out. Okay, and this is a double pawl design, but it's kind of delicate. Inside the plungers, there's no plungers, there's little tiny ball bearings inside the mechanism on each side, and there's a spring that goes in the middle of the switch, and that's the spring that pushes each ball bearing on each side. Warning again, do this at your own risk. These ball bearings are tiny and they like to fly out, and you might not find them again. Ask me how I know. Okay, to take this apart, what I usually do is I try to press down on the pawls to the up, which is kind of difficult in this design. And what I do is I switch the switch to where the ball bearings are underneath these posts. So you see how the switch is straight? It's straight with the posts. Okay, so they're under there and they're under tension, so that lets me take out the pins for the pawls. Another thing about the pins for the pawls, I'll show you here, is that they've been, you see those little holes in them? They've been peened to create kind of a flaring out effect. So I guess they didn't want these to come out easily. They didn't want these pins to come out easily. So when you first get this, it's gonna be, you might need I don't know, like what I used is a pair of dikes on some of them, because one pin was okay, the other pin was like locked in there, so I used like a pair of dikes to ease it out, and I was able to get it out. But they are a pain in the butt to get out, some of them. And that's that pin, and these are the pawls. They don't look too bad, they look pretty good. There's 3 teeth per side. Underneath the pawl is kind of a peculiar design. There's like an M shape. You see it there? That's for the ball bearings. So there's kind of a pronounced click when you click it from, you switch the ratchet from on to off. There's a little bit of a pronounced click, which is good. And I guess that M shape at the bottom helps facilitate that. Okay, and here is the other pawl pin. And that pawl, same thing. Same exact pawl. Okay. No, I don't. I don't even want to do this because these balls are gonna fly out and they're tiny. Let's try. Actually, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick it in a bag because I don't want no problems. Alright. Okay. Oh, there's one. Hit the floor again. Okay, here's the spring. Here's the switch. And there's another ball underneath the switch in there. You see it? There it is. It's a little bit bigger, this ball, so that was not that bad. And I think underneath that ball was a spring, but I think I lost that spring. I might be wrong. I know this one has a spring underneath the Craftsman. There's a spring underneath a ball in the back. I'm not sure if this one came with it, but I think it did. I think I lost it. Oh well. I have to find it. Okay, let me try and find this little ball to hit the floor. And see if I see it. Yep, it's right here. Okay. See how small this ball is? It's ridiculous. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. Okay. Put that there, and then there's the ball in the bag, and there's that. So, a pretty complicated little setup here. These are all the parts for the ratchet. And this is what the mechanism looks inside. Pretty well done. Not too bad. It came with a good amount of grease, like white grease in there. I think it might have been original because this ratchet was pretty new when I got it. It doesn't look like it has much wear on it. The teeth look brand new inside the head. Okay, so I don't want to make this into like a 20-minute video, but let's get this back together. Okay, what I do is I take the pawls and line them up there, and I drop the pins in. I get this pawl, I line up the hole, drop that pin in like that, and you take your ball, your bigger ball, and you drop it down in the middle there. And if you have a spring, you drop that down first and then your ball. And here is the tricky part. You take your spring and you put it inside your switch there, and you take one small ball and you put it inside the switch. Maybe a little grease, like Super Lube, might help this out, keeping the ball in place as you're doing this. Okay. The ball fell again. See what I'm talking about? This can be a nightmare. Let's see if I find it real quick. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I found the ball, and I took my own advice, and I put a little super loop at the end of the ball there to hold it in place, to help hold it in place. Okay, now I take the switch, and I kind of put it in, but not all the way, kind of leaning there, and I put my nail underneath that ball there to hold it there. Okay, what I do now is I take a spring, not a spring, I take a magnet and I hold the other ball, and then I put that on top of the spring and I press it down. Oh god, I need 3 hands for this. No. Try again. Okay, the ball still at the bottom there. You take that, put it on top of the spring there, and you push it in. Okay. I'm telling you, this is crazy. Alright, so you have your switch in, and now you just turn it to the side so it engages, the balls will engage the pawls. Okay, now they sprung up. And you put your switch to see if it's switching. Yeah, it's switching. Okay, now you take your mechanism, you take your ring and you put it in the groove there of the mechanism, and this is another pain to do. Okay. Alright. So now you take your ring and you put it in the groove there, and you try to mash it down somehow. You grab your needle nose. Okay. That's how you do it. It's a challenge, let me tell you. Like I said before, try this at your own risk. So anyhow, that's my teardown and comparison of the Easco model 721108 USA 3/8 ratchet. Okay guys, oops, till next time.